Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this channel I talk about communication, writing, reading, and anything that is around words. And in this video I specifically want to talk about 5 habits that has been improving my writing skills ever since I have adopted in my daily routine. The first habit is something that makes you mindful and present and plunges you in the moment. And it's to describe things that you see around yourself. For example, when you're doing your daily activities that are super mundane and you've done it so many times, try to renew your own mindset by describing them in new words, by expressing those things in your own mind. For example, when you're trying to eat breakfast, try to describe each and every taste that is lying on your taste bud. Try to describe the colors, try to describe how you're stirring the pot or whatever. Try to use verbalization so that you're using this muscle and it's becoming stronger and stronger. The more you verbalize your thoughts, the better you become at expressing yourself and trying to get your ambiguous, abstract thoughts out on the paper. And that's how you learn to become a verbal thinker. We are not always thinking verbally, but if you do this often, your dominant way of thinking is going to become a verbal thinking, which is the most important tool for a writer. So why not do it every single day? Try to re-strengthen the muscle so that describing scenarios will become second nature to you. The next habit that I want to talk about is to write down your thoughts and your worries and your fears and everything that is bugging you at the moment, or things that is very hard for you to do. Just try to write it down and write yourself into doing activities that you're very afraid of doing. For example, if you are trying to study for an exam and it's very hard to start studying and you're procrastinating often, try to write it down. Try to write about the fact that you're procrastinating and get to the bottom of it. What is it that is making you procrastinate the study? What is it that is very hard for you to decide? When you're making a decision, you can write about every option that is available to you, and you can write about pros and cons of each and every road that you can take, and that's how you become a verbal thinker. And I think when you say you want to become better at writing, what you mean is that you want to become better at thinking verbally. And that's what you're doing here when you're not just sitting and worrying about things, and instead of that you're just trying to type about whatever you've been worrying about or fearing or has been bugging you. You are getting to the bottom of it, and that is making you a verbal thinker, a logical, rational being. So that is a way to make writing a very essential part of your life, because it's just how you conduct yourself in the world. The next habit, it would be the third habit, is to occasionally test your vocabulary by writing them down. Open up a word application and write down a word that you know, a very expressive, descriptive word that comes to your mind, and then after you write that word, you think of another word that is connected to that word. Maybe it's a synonym to that word, or maybe it's an antonym to that word, or it's just something that is related to it. You write that down, and slowly you gather momentum to write down even more words and pour in until the page is filled up with words that are very interesting to you and you're very passionate about them, because you never use them on a daily basis, because they are expressive, descriptive words that are not so mundane, are not so ordinary. The point of this exercise is to be able to bring those passive words to the surface so that they are in your consciousness, not just some figment of your imagination. You can actually use them next time when you're talking, because now you have brought it up in your surface level memory, and now you have access to it easily. And now congratulations, you have just made yourself a more articulate person. Next time you want to talk about a specific topic, you can easily access those words. And when you have access to more words, you're able to talk about more stuff, because words are actually a tool for you to express those knowledges that has been piling up in your consciousness, and you are not able to express them just because you didn't have the word. You didn't have the right word. Whatever you're doing to get better at writing is making you a better speaker as well. So get better at writing, and it's a cheat code to becoming a better thinker and communicator. The next one, which is so near and dear to me because I've started doing it, and it was something that came to me naturally because I felt very anxious in social situations. So I had my phone, and whenever I felt a little bit anxious about the situation that I was in, I felt like I could just treat my phone as my friend, and I could talk to this screen by writing out whatever I'm feeling. Or whenever I am feeling very joyous because I've seen something out in the street and I want to record and document the moment, I just write down, maybe like it can be just a word, it can be just one phrase, it can be just one sentence, but it's all about like the habit of writing down your thoughts and things that you're seeing around yourself, and to document things that you see around yourself that are interesting to you, or they evoke fear, or they evoke this emotion. The more you do this, the more you get to know your emotions, and the better you're gonna become at handling those situations, because now you know where they're coming from. Now you know that they are just emotional things and they're not true. The situation is not the way that your emotions are portraying it to be. Okay, so that's also another psychological benefit that it gives you, but at the same time it makes you a better writer because now you're expressing your emotional side of you into words, and it makes you better at using your phone. So believe me, whenever you look at your phone, you might just think of consumption, right? I mean, nowadays we just go on social media and try to consume as much as we can. But then if you actually adopted this habit of write down your thoughts, then it becomes something that you think of as a device for creation, not for consumption. So doing this is curing your consumption addiction as well. Something else that I do on a daily basis that is actually very tied to writing, and without it, I don't think that you can pull off a great piece of writing, is reading. Reading makes you understand ideas better, consume ideas, so that you can create your own ideas. And also, do not read books just because you want to say, I have read this number of books, impress people by your reading, or impress yourself for that matter. Do it because you want to understand how other authors are saying things, expressing themselves, like what sort of structure they're using in their writing, what style do they have, and how did they go about adopting it. So read like different books from one author, and when you do that, you get to know like how they have developed their voice, so that you can do the same. So maybe like go ahead and study authors and obsess about like one or two authors for a while, and then from there you can like find other authors and try to get to know them as well. And that's gonna help you tremendously, because now you're kind of like reading the biography of the authors by just reading their work, because their work is in a progressive order and you get to know their development. And those are the habits that I have developed in my daily routine. And I do have so many other tips for writing and how to get better at writing. And I'll talk about those in the next episode. And also, like, I would love to see what you think I should be talking about. So drop your suggestion in the comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that I can see you in the next video. Have a nice day.